Merry Christmas, and hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln. Welcome to Oklahoma Sports Scene here from the Wee Street Ice Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Take a look at our holiday show lineup for you. Tulsa Public Schools Athletic Director Mick Wilson joins us to preview the 59th Tournament of Champions, the premier high school basketball tournament in the state of Oklahoma, coming up the day after Christmas. It's almost time to go indoors to go auto racing. The 40th Tulsa Shootout coming up, then the 39th Chili Bowl. The man behind it all, Emmett Hahn, will be here to give us a preview. Jeff Metters, the host of the National Finals Rodeo, just back from Las Vegas, talks about the champion Cowboys and reviews that incredible rodeo event. Norm Hitzges has been covering the Dallas Cowboys for over 50 years. He's not at all happy with America's team this season. And the thoroughbred race meet at Remington Park is over. They have season champions to crown. The track's Executive Vice President Matt Vance joins us from Oklahoma City, wrap up of the 24 season. Now let's look at our Tulsa World Hot Topics. Of course, the hot topics are the 12-team lineup in the college football playoffs. They've played now their first round of action on college campuses. All the home teams won. Notre Dame beating Indiana 27-17. Penn State rolled over SMU 35-10. Texas handled Clemson 38-24, and it wasn't that close. And Ohio State routed Tennessee 42-17. Well, now we're getting set for the quarterfinal rounds. December 31st to January 1st, they go to the major bowl games. December 31st, the Fiesta Bowl will find Penn State against Boise State, 6:30 on ESPN. Then 3 games on New Year's Day. Starts with the Peach Bowl at noon on ESPN. Texas against Arizona State. The Rose Bowl, Ohio State against Oregon. A rematch of their game earlier this season on ESPN, 4 o'clock kickoff. And what wraps up with the Sugar Bowl, Notre Dame against Georgia, 7:45, all the games on ESPN. Then the rest of the college football schedule looks like this. Semifinals, Thursday, January 9th at the Orange Bowl. Friday, January 10th at the Cotton Bowl. And the CFP National Championship, winding up the first 12-team playoff in college football history, will be Monday, January 20th, 6:30 on ESPN, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. In total, there are 47 college bowl games for you this 24-25 season. Oklahoma and Arkansas, by the way, are our bowl representatives. Both are playing on the same day. This Friday, December the 27th, the Armed Forces Bowl, Fort Worth, Texas. It's Oklahoma against Navy. Soon as a slight favorite. Kickoff 11 a.m. on ESPN. Also on Friday, December 27th at 6 p.m. on ESPN, the Razorbacks are playing the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, Tennessee. They'll take on Texas Tech. Oh, you got a nice after-Christmas present. They landed the top-rated player in this year's transfer portal in college football. Washington State quarterback John Mateer announced he is transferring to Oklahoma. Mateer led the Cougars with an 8-4 record this season, completing almost 65% of his passes for over 1,300 yards. He had 29 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions. He also ran for 826 yards and 15 more scores. He's the big target OU was trying to land, and they did it. University of Oklahoma senior linebacker Danny Stutzman, recognized as a 2024 Consensus All-American. Stutzman became OU's 83rd Consensus All-American, the first, though, since 2019 receiver CeeDee Lamb. Stutzman started all 12 games at middle linebacker this season. He ranked 4th in the SEC and 24th nationally. The team had 109 tackles. But he's opted out of playing in the final game for OU. He will not be in the bowl game Friday against Navy. Muskogee High School has hired Wagner High School football coach, Hall of Fame coach Dale Condit. The new head coach, he replaced Travis Hill, just took the Broken Arrow job. Condit coached at Wagner since 2005, won 16 championships, record 277 and 62. Friday, December the 20th, in Kansas City, Tulsa lost 3-2 at the BOK Center. Came back then Saturday in KC to post a 5-0 shutout as goalie Taylor Boyko had made 46 saves. He shot 15 shots in the first period, 12 in the second, and 19 in the third. Oilers' power play went 1 for 1, and Tulsa went 6 for 6 on penalty kills. This past Sunday, December 22nd, Oilers played its final home game of 2024, edging the Allen Americans 4-3. Now Tulsa leaves on a 6-game road trip to Tahoe and Rapid City. We'll be back on home ice in the BOK until January the 10th when they host Fort Wayne. Straight ahead on Oklahoma Sports Scene, Mick Wilson's here to preview the outstanding high school basketball tournament, the Tournament of Champions. That's next.
December 30th through January 4th, the biggest, loudest, dirtiest New Year's party in Tulsa is back. The 40th running of the Smiley's Racing Products Tulsa Shootout, powered by Nos Energy Drink, is going down at the SageNet Center in Expo Square. 5 days for 1,000 entries, and they're all vying for a shot at hoisting the Golden Driller. They fill the Expo on December 30th and hit the track on December 31st with racing each day through January 4th, starting at 9 a.m. Tickets available at the event. For more information, call 918-838-3777 or log on to TulsaShootout.com.
This holiday season, experience the magic of Midtown Tulsa's indoor winter wonderland at the Wee Street Ice Center. December 13th to January 5th. Skate on the best indoor ice in Tulsa, ride the enchanting train, and experience snow indoors that'll leave you feeling like you're in a winter fairy tale. Kids will love pictures with Santa, plus special holiday activities. Don't miss out on the season's best family fun. For a full list of activities and times, visit WeStreetIceCenter.com, where every day is a snow day.
Baseball, fireworks, food, family. It's all in Tulsa at One Oak Field. Score your Drillers season membership today with plans and prices fit for every fan. It's all in Drillville for 2025.
Tulsa Oilers hockey at the BOK Center. The ultimate experience of hockey and entertainment. Save big on season tickets today. Full season tickets starting as low as $17 per month for all 36 home games. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers hockey.
It is the unchallenged premier event in all of high school basketball in Oklahoma. It is the 59th edition of the Tournament of Champions. Tournament director is here with us, Mick Wilson, also, of course, our TPS Executive Athletic Director. Mick, what an event this is. Everybody looks forward to it all year.
It's hard to believe it's here. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of games and a lot of really, really good basketball for those folks that are having post-Christmas blues or have eaten too much. Just come on out and sit down and watch a lot of really, really good basketball.
This, of course, is a great history to this tournament, too.
This will be the 59th year. You know, it's hard to believe that this tournament has withstood a lot of competitors, a lot of other good tournaments throughout the state and really regionally. But we've been able to hang in there and have a really, really good product. And of course, Chris, now being at the BOK Center, it's just been a game changer over the last, this will be our 4th year there. So it's a great venue for our kids to really come and enjoy some basketball.
And Tournament Champions back in 1999 was significant too. That's when you added girls basketball. Yes, again, our girls field this year will be second to none. I was visiting at the press conference and the luncheon with Melody Stewart, and she said, you know, from the years that she can recall and what she's watched this tournament over the years, obviously her dad was instrumental and successful in coaching in this tournament, that it may be the toughest one that she's ever seen us field. Back then it was played at the Reynolds Center, the TU campus, then it moved to the Oral Roberts University Mabee Center, and in 2021 came downtown, and boy, that really elevated the BOK Center. You know, we started some work with going back to Evan Fallett and Jeff Nickler and some guys when we started to put together, Chris, as you remember, the high school hoop showcase. Yeah. And through that, we just had some conversations, and they came out and watched the Tournament of Champions one year at the Mabee Center as our guest, and sat in the suite and visited with Gil and myself, and we had a really good time. And through that conversation came, what would this look like if we moved this to our venue? And so over time, that's kind of something that we had worked toward, and then to see it come to fruition has been an amazing feat. Well, Mick, you're the tournament director. I know you get a lot of help, a lot of advice. How do you pick the 8 girls and 8 boys teams to play in each tournament? Well, Chris, sometimes you get really lucky on your choices, and this year, obviously, on the boys' field, having every #1 team preseason was a stroke of luck. But you really spend a lot of time researching and looking at teams that make runs deep into the state tournament, and then obviously knowing the rosters of how many kids are going to return. Obviously, you don't want to return or offer a team to come to the tournament champions when they lose 5 or 6 seniors. Right, yeah. But so there's some research involved, and obviously the coaches and having marquee players definitely helps in that formula. Well, let's meet the field now. Start with the boys at the 6. We have 3 state champions returning here: 6A Owasso, 2A Dale, and Class B Henrietta. Championship teams here. Fantastic teams with a lot of really good players. Obviously the coaches do a fantastic job, but again,
all three of those teams are really exciting and probably heavily favored to win it again this year.
The Mount Naughty kid's a special kid who plays for Owasso. Just a sophomore, is that right?
Special player, probably Chris last year one of the most memorable games in the history of the state in the tournament champions, when he makes the shot against Dale in the semifinals to put them up and propel him on into the finals, where they ran into Edmond North, and of course Edmond North won that game and won the championship. But then that was part one, and part two was the state championship, and then of course Owasso beat them in the finals. So set up to be a really great tournament.
The girls bracket is underway the morning after Christmas here, and the girls bracket returns finalists Edmond Memorial and Lincoln Christian. That great 2-point game for the title last year. Wow.
Unbelievable great game, and we're looking forward to something like that again. Obviously, Booker T. Washington, we're proud of what our coach has there, and then with Markayla Johnson just recently committing to Baylor. Yes, absolutely, a signee with Baylor. So a lot of folks are going to have their hands full with Booker T. Washington, but of course Melody Stewart at Lincoln Christian put such a great team together, and they're so well coached, so they'll be exciting, and they're always going to be a contender.
You know what I love about this tournament too? It really creates what we've gotten to call the Hoosier moments. The big schools, little schools going against each other.
That's probably always the most fun thing, is putting teams together when you see the matchups. And of course, over the years, we'll have coaches call and say, "When do we have the seeding meeting?" I'm like, there is no seeding meeting. We just get together and try to base these based on the David and Goliath format, going back to Coach Duggar at Memorial High School when he put this thing together. And obviously, we always try to hold a high standard and put good teams and match them up accordingly. But occasionally, you'll have a blowout, and of course, as you know, Chris, sometimes you'll have an upset.
Yeah.
We've had those over the years, so it's always a good time for the teams to see where they stack up and how they match up with some of the larger schools. Well,
we hope you had a great Christmas day, but hope you also come out to the BOK Center and have a great after-Christmas party with the folks here at the Tournament Champions. Talk about the bracket, the tournament, the tickets, what's going on, 26, 27, 28.
As with any good tournament, our brackets are on the BOK Center website along with ticket information. And again, you can come out, and if you want to just watch one session, it would be $10. If you want to watch each session, it's $10 each time. But what we really recommend doing is going and buy the all-tournament pass. That way you can come and go as you please. You can watch all sessions, come back, you can leave and go downtown and have something to eat, or you can go outside and ice skate at Winterfest if you'd like and come back in. So there's a lot of things going on downtown, and of course we've got a lot of people that, if you want to make a weekend of it, our host hotel is the DoubleTree downtown, and they got special group rates or special rates if you just want to visit the tournament and stay downtown and go watch basketball and then hit some of the restaurants. We have lots of things to do and lots of things to see. But again, come out and watch a lot of good basketball, and go to the website there at the BOK Center to get a lot of information.
I'm going to say that very first game starts at 9 in the morning, right?
We'll start at 9 in the morning. We'll go all the way through, probably till almost 10:30 at night, and we'll do that all 3 days. But again, there will be a lot of good teams, and you'll see some really good basketball, and again, probably some good players for sure. And then again, a lot of these guys are really good coaches that we have as well.
Everything is first class about this event. You had a great luncheon to hand out to all the coaches. They loved all the information you gave them, all the swag you guys had for them and stuff. Really, it's first class.
Chris, we just try to make this the most memorable event for our kids. We want them to come out and enjoy, to be able to walk away with some good memories, and we also want to represent our district and the city of Tulsa in the most first class way. And so absolutely, it's a first class event, and we take a lot of pride in the work that we do with it.
It is the 59th Tournament Champions. December the 26th, 27th, 28th at BOK Center. Come on down to the great basketball. Mick, congratulations on another great show. This is really great.
Thank you, Chris. We really appreciate your support. You've been with us a lot of years, and again, just coming out to the press conference and luncheon and being able to do the TV show, which you were on the TV show this year on Inside Tulsa Athletics, and to be able to promote such a great product and promote basketball in our state is such. We really appreciate it.
And Michael Knight will be there. Thomas Walker, I'll be there too to cover all the action. Looking forward to that. We'll have a recap on our Oklahoma Sportscene show after that. So again, Tournament Champions. Get down there, get an all-season pass, get all the games. Fabulous time there. Nick, hope you had a great Christmas. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well, Chris. And if you would, tell your better half, Miss Becky, that I sent a ticket for her to come as well.
She'll enjoy it too.
Thank you,
buddy. Right back from our Oklahoma Sports Scene after this timeout.
December 30th through January 4th, the biggest, loudest, dirtiest New Year's party in Tulsa is back. The 40th running of the Smiley's Racing Products Tulsa Shootout, powered by NOS Energy Drink, is going down at the SageNet Center in Expo Square. 5 days for 1,000 entries, and they're all vying for a shot at hoisting the Golden Driller. They fill the Expo on December 30th and hit the track on December 31st, with racing each day through January 4th, starting at 9 a.m. Tickets available at the event. For more information, call 918-838-3777 or log on to TulsaShootout.com.
Founded in 1960, Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing has been dressing gentlemen for over half a century. We are family owned and operated, offering premium brand tuxedos and accessories at our Tulsa store on South Harvard. Bashira's also does made-to-measure suits, sports coats, dress shirts and slacks, and a top line of sportswear. We do tailoring on site to assure the perfect fit so you will look your very best for that special occasion. Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing, an Oklahoma tradition.
As the sun rises over eastern Oklahoma, we are devoted to one thing: improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends, your neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
Well, it's almost time to get inside and go auto racing. The man here, Emmett Hahn, to talk about the two big events at the end of the year. Motorsports people around the world look forward to this event every year. We start, of course, with the Tulsa Shootout, brought to you by Smiley's. That's coming up on December 3rd to January 4th. Then, of course, that's the 40th edition. Then the 39th Chili Bowl, the premier event, auto racing indoors. That's January 13th to 18th inside the SageNet Center Expo Square. Founder, the man who makes it all happen every year, promoter, of course, great Hall of Fame driver, our own Emmett Hahn. Emmett, congratulations. Tell us about this trophy, though, huh?
I'll tell you what, this is our 40th year on the Tulsa Shootout, so we made a new driller. It's about 3 times as heavy as the other one, and there'll be 6 people trying to get that shootout.
And all I know is I've heard a great quote before, and it came from an owner of an Indy 500 car winner, and he says, this trophy's tougher to win than the Borg Warner.
Well, it is, because when you get up there at the Borg Warner, you got a big old racetrack, and you're running and handling, you can win it. And out here, you can be running and real good and working real good and get crashed. Yeah, they say you got to be good at the Chili Bowl and have Chili Bowl luck.
Give us a little history of this, these two events. It goes back a ways.
Well, the shootout goes back 40 years, and when we started it, we ran little 3-wheelers, Odysseys, 4-wheelers, motorcycles. Then we got into the go-karts, and I remember at one time we had like 21 classes that we ran out there, and I really couldn't fix a racetrack for go-karts and the micros. Right. So I had to drop all the 4-wheelers and the motorcycles and the go-karts, and I told my wife, I said, now we may have to take a little bit of a loss here for a couple years, but the very first year the micros came out, and it's done nothing but grow ever since.
Well, this year, more record numbers for the shootout. Is that right? Over 1,700 entries?
Yes. I mean, can you imagine being in a class and you have 50 heat races?
Oh,
you could win a heat race and be in a C feature.
Oh my gosh, Emmett. Tell us about preparations, getting that track built and ready. I know you're hands-on with that too inside the SageNet Center.
I've been hands-on that for many, many years, and let me tell you, this year I probably didn't spend 20 minutes total.
No way.
Matt, my grandson, took hold of it. He built it all. They got it striped. I mean, it's in fact we're a little ahead of time, because a little over a week out, we could have raced on it, and our office was ready. So, kind of makes me nervous that we're prepared this year.
Tell us about the track, the oval, the straightaways. What's the dimensions?
It's really a 5th mile on the bottom, but what's nice about this racetrack is gravel can get that thing to where we got 2 or 3 grooves, so you can run the top, run the bottom, and that's why the guys like it, so you can race on it, and it's like any other race, whether it be dirt or asphalt. The cream comes to the top you know, and so when you got Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, Ty Gibbs is coming this year.
Wow. And you're talking about top drivers, NASCAR and other.
Oh,
events,
yeah,
right?
yeah. In fact, I'll tell you what, if they didn't make so much money in NASCAR, they'd rather be doing this.
Tony Stewart said he'd rather run in this race, right?
He made a comment on national TV, if he could only run one race the whole year, what would it be? And he said it would be the Chili Bowl.
Wow.
So that's a good compliment.
I'd say so. Let's set the schedule now for the shootout. They parked December 30th. What's that? That's got to be wild to get all those cars in there.
We'll have over 1,700, but out of them, there'll be a lot of them that runs 2 classes or 3 classes. So realistically, we have about 800 cars that'll come in. So they've striped it, and they have a little 9x10 section right there. And so, believe it or not, it's easier to get them 1,700 in at the shootout than it is to get the 350 in for the Chili Bowl.
Let's talk about then practice December 31st, 8 a.m. Racing to follow that. Then Saturday night, January the 4th, of course, that's the big finals there for the shootout.
Yeah, Saturday evening will be, it'll be the best of the best of the best. In fact, all day Saturday, we start early that morning, and some of the lower features, the I feature and the M feature and all them, they'll run and they transfer on up. But when you get Saturday afternoon, then the competition gets real tough.
Then, of course, it's Chili Bowl time, the 39th Chili Bowl, January the 13th to the 18th. And Emmett, these drivers have been cooped up all winter. They can't wait to go racing. They love coming to Tulsa, don't they?
They love it. And, you know, we got spectators comes in from England, Australia, New Zealand.
Yeah.
And the reason they do is, like here at the SageNet Center, the race is going to go on. You're not going to get rained out or snowed out or whatever. So people can come from all over the world, and it's and this is the first year going into the building on our reserve seats Wednesday through Saturday. We have one single ticket left for Wednesday through Saturday.
Unbelievable.
So we got Monday, Tuesday tickets. We have our O'Reilly's Race of Champions on Monday, and that's one of the better shows of the week. So we do have reserved seats for Monday and Tuesday. But Wednesday through Saturday, you can buy a pit pass, and we got seating for about 3,000.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah, so you can get in.
You guys put on a heck of a trade show, too. It's been very popular.
There's 60 booths at the trade show.
Yeah.
And what's nice about that, Chris, you don't have to buy a ticket to come to the trade show, and it's not just racing products. I mean, it's clothing, jewelry, it's a little bit of everything, and that's free to the public.
Tell us, what is a midget race car? What kind of speeds are we talking about?
We're going to run 70 or 75 on this racetrack, but they run on a mile where they'll run 130 mile an hour too. So if you can imagine a little 4-cylinder Toyota that makes 475 horsepower.
Wow.
And then you set it in this little chassis, the engine, chassis, and everything weighs under 1,000 pounds. So they can't get on the gas full throttle coming off a corner without doing a wheel stand. So
now the fans love this. What is the flip count?
Well, the flip count's kind of a when you get your car upside down, and we normally will run between 55 and 75 of them that will get upside down during the week. And the good thing is the track's small enough, a lot of them will get upside down, and you can just roll them back over and push them off, and it don't tear them up that bad.
And the Chili Bowl schedule, Sunday the 12th, practice, January 13th to 17th, qualifying nights. Then, of course, January 18th, the championship feature event of 55 laps. Is that the championship event?
We're going to cut our feature back on the Chili Bowl to 40 laps.
40 laps, okay.
But the reason being, we've done that 55 for Donnie Ray Crawford, and we're not forgetting him, not for a second.
I know that for sure, yeah.
But my track man's told me the last 2 years, he said, I can get a racetrack for 40 laps. I can't hardly make one for 55 because you have to get it too good early and they can't pass. Then late, it starts taking rubber and they can't pass. So that's why we're going back to 40 laps.
The numbers go up, the purse money goes up, but it's not the money. It's this Golden Driller Trophy they're all chasing at the Chili Bowl and, of course, also at the Tulsa Shootout. And real quickly, the economic impact, $40 million, is that right?
Last year, the Shootout and Chili Bowl was $41 million to the city of Tulsa. Yeah.
Emmett, congratulations.
Thank you, Chris. I
Thanks for
appreciate
keeping this in Tulsa. Every year they come after him from the big cities. Come on down to Houston. Come on to Dallas. Come on to, well, good to have you stay here in Tulsa with the shootout.
It's close to my house.
I like that.
And I'm just a Tulsa boy.
We're going to come right back on Tulsa Boy. Jeff Menders, he's our cowboy. The National Finals Rodeo wrap-up is straight ahead on Oklahoma Sports Scene.
The Tulsa Oilers return to the ice for another ice melting year.
He shoots, he scores.
Friday, January 10th, 7:05 at the BOK Center. It's the Route 66 weekend celebration. The first 1,000 fans get a free Tulsa Oilers bucket hat. Don't miss the ultimate in fast-paced entertainment.
It's turned over and going the other way.
Get your tickets now at TulsaOilers.com. Don't miss the hard-hitting, pulse-pounding smash mouth excitement.
Oh, I can feel that one.
Tickets at TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers hockey are back.
Get ready, Tulsa. January 13th to the 18th, the chase for the Golden Driller is back at the SageNet Center at Expo Square with the 39th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals powered by NOS Energy Drink. The biggest names, the toughest race, and they're all fighting for the sweetest victory of all to hoist the Golden Driller in victory lane. Monday and Tuesday reserved seats are available by calling 918-838-3777. Can only make it for Saturday night. The General Admission Pit Pass never sells out. For more info, log on to chilibowl.com.
Founded in 1960, Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing has been dressing gentlemen for over half a century. We are family owned and operated, offering premium brand tuxedos and accessories at our Tulsa store on South Harvard. Bashira's also does made-to-measure suits, sports coats, dress shirts, and slacks, and a top line of sportswear. We do tailoring on site to assure the perfect fit so you will look your very best for that special occasion. Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing, an Oklahoma tradition.
This holiday season, experience the magic of Midtown Tulsa's indoor winter wonderland at the Wee Street Ice Center, December 13th to January 5th. Skate on the best indoor ice in Tulsa, ride the enchanting train, and experience snow indoors that'll leave you feeling like you're in a winter fairy tale. Kids will love pictures with Santa, plus special holiday activities. Don't miss out on the season's best family fun. For a full list of activities and times, visit WeStreetIceCenter.com, where every day is a snow day.
December 5th to the 14th. It's called the Super Bowl of Rodeo, the National Finals. The guy who called it all 10 go-rounds, my friend, great colleague of mine, past working buddy as well, Jeff. Jeff, welcome back, cowboy.
Chris, good to see you.
Hi,
I feel like I competed 10 days in a row.
I think so. I did. You barely have a voice after all that, too.
Yeah, thank goodness it didn't go down while I was there, but it's been a little soft ever since.
Great event. It just gets bigger and bigger every year. You can't get a ticket to that. It's the biggest event in Las Vegas.
It is. Like 600,000 people come there over 10 days.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy. And, Chris, when you and I first went out there in 91, 92, 93, you wouldn't even know the NFR was there.
Yeah.
Now it's cowboy hats all across the town, and the Cowboys take over. It's so much fun.
I know they tried to put me in a cowboy hat, Jeff, and it didn't work out too well.
I think it's not bad. You want to try this one on? No.
You're the natural cowboy for sure. You and Butch Jones do a great job. The Cowboy Channel's a heck of a way to promote this, and all live events too.
It is. It's crazy that we have a cowboy version of ESPN, basically.
Yeah, right.
And it's. I think you and I both Western lifestyle, from quarter horses to thoroughbreds. To rodeo, we've loved that. We've dedicated our careers to it, and it's nice to see a network that's really just dedicated to that Western way of life, and have the NFR on live, and it was great when it was on ESPN,
right? Yeah.
But it wasn't a priority, it wasn't live, and
sure.
And you fit it into their time frame, and now we do like 10 hours live every day around the NFR. It's like every day's a Super Bowl for 10 straight days.
The money. Let's talk about the money. A record purse again this year, $16.2 million.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Yeah, and I wish it was more.
Wow.
I wish that when, if I ruled the world, and my wife reminds me that I don't.
Yes.
It would be nice if each world champion got $1 million.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to see that. You and I were talking before we came on the air. It was Oklahoma City for a long time. It left in 1985. Those guys have told me stories about, because every year it's kind of sad. You don't want it to happen. But some contestants really don't win anything. They get 10,000 just to show up. But they were talking about in Oklahoma City that for that cowboy that didn't win anything during that 10-day run, they'd pass the hat to help him pay for his hotel room. Now you got guys winning. A year ago, 2 years ago, Stetson Wright almost won $1 million He's a bronc rider in a
10
bull
days
rider.
of national finals.
No, just for the whole season.
season,
But,
yeah,
but a
right.
lot of that,
Right,
400,000 came from NFR.
Wow.
So yeah, the money's changed the game dramatically.
I couldn't believe watching you that 10th final go round. You still had 8 championships that were up for grabs.
Yeah, usually like you have 2 or 3 of them or more that are
Right,
just
yeah.
way wrapped up. But no, it really went all the way down the wire. And technically, bull riding was kind of wrapped up, but for Josh Frost. But it had to be something weird. Like everybody had to buck off except Cooper James.
Yeah.
He had to win 100,000 plus in one night, and it kind of looked like that for a little while. Nobody was making a bull ride, but then once somebody made a bull ride, that went out the window. But Josh Frost was like a second cousin of Lane Frost. Movie
great
8
name,
Seconds.
Sure, that's right.
So it's
Yeah.
it's nice to see a Frost win a bull riding world championship
Oh,
again.
neat. All right, let's talk about some of these champion cowboys and cowgirls during the events.
Yeah, Rocker Steiner is really fun. He's probably the most polarizing person in rodeo. He's got long hair, and he comes from rodeo royalty. His grandfather was a world champion bull rider. His dad was a world champion steer wrestler. Wears his emotions on his sleeves. Kind of goes against the cowboy ways. So he and Keenan Hayes kind of stole it early, but then it was Dean Thompson who just kind of quietly, put the pieces together, finished really high in the average, won enough money, won the world championship.
What was the closest event for you to cover there that had the most competition?
Barrel racing may have caught. It's funny how the whole building comes alive. You had Haley Kinsel and sister trying to win a 5th world championship. And then you had Cassie Mowry, whose fiance who she'd raised all these horses with, had died earlier in the year. And so she was coming back trying to win. And so Cassie and Haley had a heck of a duel that basically came down to the last round. And Haley's horse, I don't think was sound. So she had to run a backup horse and wound up as a reserve champion.
The most popular event, as always, is the bull riding. Let's talk about that competition.
Yeah, Josh Frost was really fun. You had a bunch of rookies. It was weird this year. Did not have a single world champion in the field of 15.
Really?
Had a bunch of rookies.
Yeah.
And then you had some guys that hadn't been there in 4 or 5 years. And then you had a few that had been there. It was the rookies really showed up. Sometimes you can get on the wrong side of Lady Luck up there in the bull riding, and they really put on a show.
Tell us about the champion of champions, the all-around cowboy winner.
It was Stetson Wright's been the king for a while.
Right.
But he basically wound up really injured a year ago. Didn't compete, made it like a round and a half at last year's NFR, and spent the year on the sidelines. But he does bull riding and saddle bronc riding. So with his absence, it just really opened the door. Chad Mayfield, a tie-down roper, came in kind of as a favorite, but Oklahoma's Coleman Proctor, he's a team roper, went right down to round 10 for him, and I would love to have seen him win. Coleman is just so much charisma. You should have him on your show.
Yeah, love
he
that,
is a character, storyteller. He's got so much charisma. You can't not root for Coleman. He just lives over by Claremore.
Oh, nice.
And he just came down to just a few $100, and he missed out.
Chad Mayfield, season earnings, by the way, $335,000. Won the title by $676.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Coleman just really needed a catch in round 10. He won round 9
to
get in that position, and he was aggressive in round 10, and that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Didn't have one single go-round win.
No.
Amazing.
Yep.
But the money there, earnings $111,000 during the finals there. Jeff, I'm always admire these cowboys as athletes. These guys in pro athletes, pro sports, you and I talk about all the time, they stub their toe, they have a twist, they have a hamstring thing. I think those Justin Healers, those reports you get before the rodeo, got dislocated shoulder, busted knee, probable to ride, and out they go.
Yeah, oh yeah. They're the toughest guys on the planet.
Oh.
I have so much respect for them. I enjoy them, and you just want to see them make enough money that when they get done with their rodeo career, hopefully that they don't have to, start over. Man, those guys, they're so tough.
And the travel, when do they hit the road again? Are they already on the road again for the 25 NFR?
Oh yeah, it's already started. The season overlaps.
Yeah.
Regular season ends on the last day of September. The new season begins in October, so they're already fighting.
And you've been really involved also. I tell you, it just has taken off Yellowstone, the kind of Sheridan thing. It really has picked up. The cowboy culture is really booming right now.
Yeah, I just shot season 2 of 10 Nights, and Taylor Sheridan is the guy behind it, and it's been so much fun. I'm not exactly sure when it's going to air yet, but we're kind of up to our our eyeballs and trying to get it sorted out. It's all the craziness that goes around. And
Yeah, tell us about that project.
It's about the National Finals Rodeo, how Vegas goes from Sin City to Cowboy Town, and we follow the highs and lows of certain athletes, and it's just you're just kind of emotionally worn out when you get done. It's really spectacular.
Cowboy Jeff Metters. Great to have you here on the show, Jeff.
good
Thanks
to
for all
be
those
here.
years we worked together and
Absolutely.
stuff. And the pride of
I don't
Talladega,
get to see enough.
Oklahoma.
I don't get to see enough.
I know.
Talladega made the state finals in football.
They sure did,
for the
that's right.
first time since
Yeah.
I was there, and unfortunately, it turned out exactly the way it did when I was there.
Yeah, but you launched a great career out of that
So, yeah, I did.
finals there.
Well, yeah, my junior year was when Chris spoke at my all sports banquet. I found my purpose in life, and I haven't looked back.
Well, all the best. Hope you have a great new year and look forward to following you on the rodeo trail as well.
Next time, I hope my voice is a little bit better.
I'm sure it will be.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Jeff Metters, NFL Rodeo Wrap-Up. Hope you enjoyed that Oklahoma Sports Scene. Right back after this break.
December 30th through January 4th, the biggest, loudest, dirtiest New Year's party in Tulsa is back. The 40th running of the Smiley's Racing Products Tulsa Shootout, powered by NOS Energy Drink, is going down at the SageNet Center in Expo Square. 5 days for 1,000 entries, and they're all vying for a shot at hoisting the Golden Driller. They fill the Expo on December 30th and hit the track on December 31st, with racing each day through January 4th, starting at 9 a.m. Tickets available at the event. For more information, call 918-838-3777 or log on to TulsaShootout.com.
The Tulsa Oilers return to the ice for another ice melting year.
He shoots, he scores.
Saturday, January 11th, 7:05 at the BOK Center. The Route 66 weekend celebration continues. The first 1,000 fans get a free Aloha shirt. Don't miss the ultimate in fast-paced entertainment.
It's turned over and going the other way.
Get your tickets now at TulsaOilers.com. Don't miss the heart-hitting, pulse-pounding, smash-mouth excitement.
Oh, I can feel that one.
Tickets at TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers hockey are back.
As the sun rises over eastern Oklahoma, we are devoted to one thing: improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends, your neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
He's a Texas Hall of Fame radio legend, Norm Hitzges. 52 seasons he covered the Dallas Cowboys on his radio talk show. Norm now has a popular podcast he does every day called Wondering with Norm Hitzges. One of his recent podcasts had a subject I thought you'd be interested in. He simply called it the Dallas Cowboys, and right now he says they suck.
This club has holes all over it. They need a number one runner. Dowdle's a nice player. He would make a solid number two runner in the NFL, or even combo runner. But right now, they don't have any people to combo. And I have to say this about the first round draft choice out of Oklahoma last year, Tyler Guyton. I'm not sure at all, Chris. I'm not sure at all. I have been a proponent of moving him to guard.
Yeah.
But you keep going. If Zach Martin retires, which he apparently will, there's a hole there. Does the club buy out Terrence Steele, who's being paid very highly, but is just a moderate right tackle? This club has, I think, well, it depends on the defensive tackle Odigizua going free agent. If he leaves, this club needs 3 defensive tackles. 3. They need a linebacker because I don't think Eric Hendricks is back next year. The safeties have not played well this year. Chris, the list is so long, it's unbelievable.
Well, the season pretty well ended, it seemed like, on that after that Lions 47-9 beat down, and of course that's also where Dak Prescott got hurt, now out for the season, and now Dak comes back. It's how much will it cost the Cowboys, Norm, and what will that do for their cap and everything?
Well, Dak's going to start counting $60 million against the cap, and now CeeDee Lamb's contract starts to kick in, which is $34 million a year. And Parsons will be in his extension year next year. But I think Michael will get $38 to $40 million a year. If you then mix in the fact that Diggs, the cornerback, is making $17 million, that this club has enormous contracts, Chris, and it makes it difficult to fill out the rest of the roster because NFL rosters, I don't have to tell you this, by golly, at all. NFL rosters have 2 or 3 stars, and then they should have 10 or 12 or 15 really solid players. And it makes it hard to get into that really solid player area if you're pinched for money.
65th season of football in the NFL for the Dallas Cowboys. It's the 5th under head coach Mike McCarthy, who by all reports will not be back next year. And of course, Dan Quinn has come back as defensive coordinator, and that hasn't worked out too well either.
No. This morning on my podcast, Chris, I talked about who I would hire for the next Cowboys coach. And this is no disrespect of Coach McCarthy at all. I think he's a fine football coach. But I think the Cowboys are going to trend in a different direction. And I hear Deion Sanders, and my reaction to that was simply, oh, please. He's in the spot he should be in right now, until something massive turns up, until an LSU job opens or an A&M job opens or something like that. I hear Ben Johnson from Detroit, the offensive coordinator, good coach, good young coach. I think he's going to have a lot of opportunities elsewhere. Jets, Chicago, New Orleans. Anyway, I like Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator in Buffalo. Everywhere he's gone, he's been terrific, Chris. LSU hired him for 1 year as their offensive coordinator. That was the year Joe Burrow exploded in America. And they won the national title, averaging a mere 48 points a game. And then he went to Carolina. And for only the 5th time in the Super Bowl era, Carolina had 4 1,000-yard receiver and backs types. 4 of them. And then on to Buffalo. And look at the way Josh Allen is stepping more and more forward in Buffalo, and that offense is stepping forward. And it looks just wonderfully creative. I'd hire him, and I'd hire the fired Jets coach Robert Saleh as the defensive coordinator. Woody Johnson, the owner of the Jets, who Woody's just a bit of a nutcase. He fired Saleh with I think no reason at all, but he should have fired Aaron Rodgers, really, when you look at it, but he can't do that. But I think that the Cowboys have to make a hire that players around the league would say, yeah, that guy's a good coach. And if they were somehow able to get the Brady-Saleh combination, I think you'd have that reaction.
Norm, how the Dallas Cowboys get back their title of America's team? I mean, 8 Super Bowl appearances, 5 Super Bowl championships, not since 1996. The only NFL team ever to have 20 straight winning seasons from 66 to 85. So much history, so much success, but they can be able to get that title back, America's team?
Well, Chris, that title comes with winning, which has been synonymous with the Cowboys over the years. They've had a few down periods, but other than that, they've been a contender very consistently for 65 years now. No, 55 years now. Chris, I think the question I have for you is Dak Prescott the man to do that?
Yeah, that's a big question. You're right.
It's sad. He's a wonderful fellow. He's a wonderful fellow. He's a good leader. But the questions remain. It's not that he's a bad quarterback. Not at all. Where does he rank in the league? I don't know. 10th, 12th, 14th. But quarterbacks in that range generally don't win Super Bowls. I mean, very rarely, you'll come across a Nick Foles in NFL history. But you look at Super Bowl winners, and they've got good quarterbacks. And that's the question, I think, that's first. And there's no way to address this, Chris, because as you mentioned before, he's got a 4-year, 231 million of the 240 million is guaranteed. There's no way out of it.
But there is still one thing the Dallas Cowboys are ranked number one in terms of Forbes magazine ranking of the most valuable franchise in American sports. The Cowboys listed as being valued over $5 billion. Now that doesn't suck. We'll come right back with Remington Park Thoroughbred Racing season in Oklahoma City. Wrap it up right here on Oklahoma Sports Scene.
The Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town, is the only place you can skate like the pros. With 2 rinks, there's always time to strap on the blades and hit the ice. The Wee Street Ice Center at 43rd and Yale is your family fun destination. Try out the game simulator rooms or hit the arcade. When you get hungry, grab a bite at Puck's Sports Bar and Grill with delicious food, great drink specials, and more. It's Midtown Tulsa's coolest entertainment center. Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town. Come get your skate on.
As the sun rises over eastern Oklahoma, we are devoted to one thing: improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends, your neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
Our story, it lives in Tulsa, where the spirit of the past lives alongside us and urges us on toward a vibrant future. Because our story is still being written. It's the story of Tulsa, told by the journalists who live it and love it. Whether it's covering our rich history, bringing you the hidden gems of the food scene, or following the action in local sports. And here, in the Tulsa world, is where it comes to life.
The Executive Vice President of Racing, Remington Park, also Lone Star Park down in Grand Prairie, Texas. A good friend, Matt. Congratulations. Wrapping up a big, successful season of 2024 at Remington Park. Great thoroughbred racing for the fans.
It was. Thank you, Chris. It ended it with a great night last Friday evening with Springboard Mile and the races on the undercard. Just was a really good night of racing. So very, very pleased. Cole Battle, who won our Springboard, currently 8th on the 2025 Kentucky Derby standings as they are today anyway. And we hope that he carries our name to Oaklawn Park proudly, and looks like he's going to be competing in at least the Southwest and hopefully the Rebel and the Arkansas Derby. So, but exciting night, kind of the first running of the Toby Keith Stakes that we named in honor, of course, Toby, a great friend at racing worldwide. But we kind of claimed Toby as our own, and thankfully he kind of claimed Remington Park as his home away from home. And his daughters were here. Crystal sang the national anthem, and his oldest daughter Shelly accepted on behalf of the family. And we plan on doing that every year. And I hope we can. We're going to try to accentuate our stakes program. I hope next year. And the Toby Keith, just by coincidence, it was the trapeze. But that 2-year-old filly category, I think if we put some more money into it, that it could really, ironically, end up becoming a very valuable race for us.
Well, Matt, hit out also some pretty big Kentucky Derby points along the way, too, at that Springboard Mile.
Right. 10 points this time of year. That's as many points as they can get. And, of course, they will grow as the races get closer to the Derby. But we're proud of it. And, again, that Toby Keith could potentially be a Kentucky Oaks points race one day. And so that's what we're hoping to add, another feather in the cap of our racing program there.
Well, let's talk about some of the champions of the Remington Park meet just completed. And of course, with the trainer award and Chuck Talaferro award in honor of a great trainer, friend of ours, goes once again Steve Asmussen. I believe what his 19th Remington Park title for the Hall of Fame, all-time winningest trainer in racing history.
Very, very proud that to have Keith's, or excuse me, he does have a son and a father named Keith. Steve's
right.
name on the list again. Chrissy Baca, Chuck's daughter, graciously was here to present the award as she does every year. Flies out from San Diego, and so very good that we were able to do that and continue the kind of the history with that award and the person that's earned it over the years.
Steve Asmussen won 60 races on the year. The runner-up, a good Hall of Fame trainer himself, Joe
Alfolter.
Alfolter is at the 28th, so distant second there. Asmussen, sixth in the past 18 years, brought home the trophy. His earnings this season at Remington Park, over $1.6 million, good for fifth all time. He has been so dominant everywhere he goes, but it's great that he really calls Remington Park one of his home bases. It is.
I was talking with Steve not too long ago, and close to 30 years ago now, when we were all younger, but I remember I complimented Steve, and we were in our 20s in those days, but he was obviously thrust into the, well into his career, but they were leading a colt over to school in the paddock. And I said, you know what? I don't think I've ever been able to say that I could see my reflection in a horse's coat. The horse was so shiny. Wow. And of course, Steve thanked me for the compliment. And that colt's name was Valid Expectations, who went on to become a graded stakes performer and a legendary stallion in the state of Texas and abroad. So, go way back with Steve, and now his sons Eric and Keith are kind of carrying the family flag. Although, like their father, they're a little tall for a jockey. If they were basketball players, they'd be 8 feet. But he's certainly proud of them, and rightfully so.
Well, Steve Asmussen, by the way, has won more races in any sport in the history of North American thoroughbred racing, 10,740. That was through December 15th. Of this year. He just keeps on winning, and
yes, he does.
And a great racing family, as you pointed out too, Keith.
Definitely.
And the whole group there. All right, the leading jockey, and familiar with him, covered his Kentucky Derby victory. Nice to have a Kentucky Derby winning rider as your jockey champion, Stuart Elliott.
Stuart's just class. Again, like Steve, these guys may get up every day and put their boots on the way you and I do, but They have the discipline, and Stuart's certainly in that category. Stuart's is a year older than me, and to be able to just have that lifestyle and the discipline, watching your diet, exercise, and just overall dedication to getting up every day and coming to work and climbing aboard a 1,200-pound animal. Having first call with Steve certainly doesn't make it harder, but really, really impressed with Stuart. He's a class individual and represents his profession very well.
Well, he won by a margin of 37 victories. He had 91 victories on this season to 54 for a runner-up Floyd Wethy Jr. He began his riding career, as you mentioned, Steve, he's not a young guy at all. He's going to turn 60 years old, in fact. My gosh, he'll turn 60 this coming March. Yeah. That's hard to believe. He's riding just as good as ever. And of course, he says he's going to keep riding as long as Steve Asmussen keeps sending those horses to him.
Well, there you go. And I think he could do it. He's taking good care of himself. He's a family man. And I always tell the younger riders in the room when we meet with them at the beginning of the season to look at the old guys in the room. There's a reason that they got there. And, you don't see those guys horse playing and things like that. Not that happens in jockeys' rooms, but Stuart's always studying the racing form. He's very calculated. He knows how the race is going to unfold. Certainly one of the reasons that Steve has him as first call on all of his horses in this region.
Stuart Elliott winning the Pat Steinberg Award, the leading jockey of 2024 at Remington Park. By the way, his earnings for the year, just over $2.2 million. All right, how about your leading owner now? We're getting the Rand Rex Jr. Award. That goes to Brian Hawk.
Brian Hawk is Brian's. Wish we had 10 Brian Hawks. Brian has, Brian owned Code West, who another horse that's, I hope we'll talk about, Miss Code West. He's the sire of. Brian's invested heavily in the state of Oklahoma in real estate, farming real estate, and owns West Wind Farms that he's developed.
Brian Hawk, that was his first, by the way, owner title. 24 wins, over $827,000 in purse money on the year. How about some of the horse champions? Who really stood out as some of our best runners in the thoroughbred?
Miss Code West is a really nice filly, Chris, and the Purriers who own her, they've been very gracious to keep her in competition here. She's certainly got a great record in Oklahoma.
Again, it's been an incredible thoroughbred meet. Looking forward now the nation's best. It really is the best quarter horse meet in all of racing. Starts on March the 6th, so a little bit of time to get your breath here before we get back to work. But the quarter horse meet should be a great one again.
The stall applications are coming in as we speak, Chris, and it is we're the Keeneland, Del Mar, and Saratoga wrapped into one for our spring quarter horse meet. So it's a very exciting time of year. Of course, all the 2-year-olds. So we could build 3 barn areas that we currently have 1,300 stalls. We could build 3 barn areas and still have to turn people back.
Wow.
So
Matt, I also want to point out the Remington Park, since the opening in 2005, has provided more than $370 million to the state of Oklahoma's education funding. I'll be awfully proud of that.
How about that? Very proud of it. Very proud of it. What the industry has done, what the compact has done for the state of Oklahoma, working with the state and the horsemen, the racetracks, and the tribes. So we're very, very proud of that accomplishment, Chris.
Remington Park now has a full simulcast schedule from all the major racetracks of thoroughbred racing around the country. Then they get underway again with the top quarter horse meet in the nation. They start racing live back in Oklahoma City, Remington Park, on March the 6th. Back to wrap things up and preview our Best Of show right after this final break on Oklahoma Sports Scene.
Baseball, fireworks, food, family. It's all in Tulsa at One Oak Field. Score your Drillers season membership today with plans and prices fit for every fan. It's all in Drillville for 2025.
The Remington Park Casino is always open for jackpot gaming. The winning action never ends. Enjoy great food and drinks in the Bricktown Brewery, open daily at 11 a.m. Simulcast racing is offered every day, featuring North America's best tracks. Visit the Club Remington desk for player card membership and begin earning points and rewards. The jackpots are always flowing. The next one could be yours at Remington Park.
And within 2024, the very special show in Oklahoma Sports Scene. It's our Best Of show, we're calling it. Look back at some of our favorite interviews and features on the show this past year, including OU Athletic Director Joe Castiglione, the Athletic Director at Oklahoma State University, Chad Weiberg, Tulsa's new Athletic Director, Justin Moore. Also, 2-time Olympic gymnast Bart Connor reflects on the Summer Olympic Games. And the Tulsan had a key role in making sure ESPN, the 24-hour sports network, got on the air. All that next week on our Best Of Oklahoma Sports Scene show. Until then, as we always remind you, though, be a good sport.